Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today. Starting my day at the fish market and Newport Beach. And today we're going to talk about central bank digital currencies and how this is going to happen whether we like it or not. And I don't like it. So before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group, which I will talk about a little bit later. Let me show you something, how good this stuff is. We got lobster today. It's awesome. So, central bank digital currency. What is this? Why should you be concerned? Tell you, this is to take your dollar bills and get rid of them and to have a digital currency that is basically, let me just simplify it and say that everybody's issued a card and it's assigned to you where you have a fingerprint that you have to use to buy and, spend the way that they see fit. Now, the problem with this is people just got a real dose of handouts with the health crisis. Helped their businesses, people got to stay at home and didn't have to work. Some people are still collecting on that. And here's the thing that's wild. With the unemployment, there are some places in the country where people are still getting pandemic unemployment right now. Years later, this thing is done, guys. There is nothing to do other than go back to work and get a job, start your own business, start your side hustle, sell things. Okay? People don't want to hear that. Now, there are a tremendous amount of rumors about this. And there is a video floating around that I have gotten sent to me dozens of times, maybe 5-6 dozen times, well over 50 times. And it is of the FDIC meeting talking about how they're going to shut down the banking system on a Friday. Now, why is this relevant? Because the first date that could be potentially set up for us to experience this is coming up. It's Friday, February 24th, the day before my birthday. So in this world, they're going to shut us down, shut everything off, and you won't have your banking system as of Saturday. And everything will start to go and transfer over to this digital dollar. Now, I don't think it's going to work like that. I think that you'd have pandemonium in the streets if that happens. But let me explain this to you. The problem with a central bank digital currency, and Russia is going to test this in April. But again, throwing that grenade out there and showing that that's not done by accident, guys. That's done by design to get you ready for what's coming. Okay? What's coming is complete control. Now, I want you to think about this. You can sit there and say, Dan, we already have everything digital. No, you don't. Having cash in your hand is absolute freedom. Having the ability to take cash and go buy whatever you want is freedom. Absolute freedom. Think about this. You leave work, I'm going to get a newspaper. I'm going to go do that. Well, which newspaper do you want to get? Imagine them controlling what you buy. And you can sit there and say, oh, that's kind of extreme. You're kind of crazy. No, think about this. You can take cash today and you can go buy weed here in California if you want to. Now imagine if somebody is controlling that and they're saying, hey, you can't do that. You've done it 3 times this week. We're going to limit that. And they're going to shut people off. There's that. So the idea with cash is cash gives you freedom to do whatever you want. To go eat at a restaurant, to go be alone, to go be anonymous is what cash does. Think about this. You have a tough day with your kids, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever. I'm going to have a drink. Okay? Well, what are you doing going to that bar? It's kind of, kind of a dive bar that you went and had a drink at. None of your business what I do. Okay? There's that, first of all. But this is going to be able to be used to control people. Let me give you an example. Let's say that there's another health crisis out there, and they don't want you to leave your house or spend beyond your spending zone. You don't think that they could shut it off to where you're going to have a perimeter zone to where you could spend your money? So you're going to be able to spend your money only in this zone. Okay, well, I don't want to be here. My city sucks. I don't want to live here. I want to go down to the beach. You guys see what Dan shows us? There's fish over there. I'm going to go buy fish. People don't get it. Okay? This is not going to be a good thing. The central banks have complete control over this. And if you don't think that there's a master plan for this, you're kidding yourself. But think about this. You can't spend without your zone. You know, what if you have somebody flipping the switch? Hey, John, you're in charge of people's spending patterns and you get to control it within Southern California. Okay. What if somebody's a Michigan fan? I know this beautiful woman that is a Michigan fan. What if you said, oh, Michigan sucks. You got to be an Ohio State fan. You can't buy that hat. You can't buy that gear. You can sit there and tell me that that's crazy, but that is absolutely the truth on how they could limit it. And I'm just using simple things. You know, oh, well, you know, the Houston Astros are the best baseball team in the world, which they're not. They're, as far as I'm concerned, a criminal enterprise. That's just my opinion. But imagine being told you have to support this, you have to support that. Okay? Let me show you guys something. The tide's coming in, and it's just flooding right now. It's kind of a cool thing to see. Let me get a better shot of this for you. When the tide rolls in, sometimes you get really high tides, and they're called king tides. This is not that. This is just a higher tide that's coming in. The problem with a king tide is that it will go all the way up to these houses up here. And if the houses are close enough to the water, they're going to have real problems on this. So, kind of a neat thing to say. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, these are times that are so difficult when it comes to the stock market. I want you to think about this. I just got a story sent to me where the average 401k had dropped by over $20,000 in the last year. Can you afford to lose $20,000? No way. You need to look at a recession protection IRA or 401k from the good people at Patriot Gold Group. Physical metals will be the hedge. They will be the safe haven investment that are going to protect all of us. You know, as the tide comes in, you need to protect yourself in so many different ways. Call the good people at 888-330-1431 today and let them know that I allegedly sent you. But you need a physical metals IRA and 401k to protect yourself. Call them today. Look at what central banks are doing. Look at what municipalities are doing. Look at what billionaires are doing. They're all buying gold, and you should be doing the same thing. So call 888-330-1431 before it's too late. You have to do this, okay? No obligation. IRA, 401k, plus Patriot Gold's the #1 rated IRA and 401k for the last 6 years in a row. They're fantastic. Check it out today. Use the link below or use the 888 number. Think of how bad this will be. We've talked in the past about social credit scores and what kind of human you are. Well, think about this. Let's say that you're a person that goes online and you're opinionated about things. Maybe you're Dan, okay? Now, I have a word that I've used that my kids say I should not use anymore because it's not right. It's fat shaming, Dad. You can't do that. You can't fat shame people. I like to call people chubs, okay? Well, the last time I did this, I was in a restaurant and we ordered an appetizer plate, large group, and Chubbs was a little slow, the waitress. And I said, I hope Chubbs doesn't eat everything before we get it. Okay? So, terrible. Isn't that an awful joke? Anyways, wasn't that funny, wasn't that good. But imagine if Dan used things like that to describe people and people said, no, you can't do that. You know, we're going to give you a strike because you used the word Chubbs. Okay? Well, don't fat shame people, Dad. Don't do it on Facebook. Oh my gosh. Don't say anything like that. Imagine your spending ability be tied to your opinions. Okay? Now, I'm using the simplest thing in the world, guys. I'm not using anything political, anything against any group or anything like that. But understand this, like I said, I'm against fat people. So, okay. But my point is that this could get out of control to where you will not be able to spend money based on your beliefs. Now, politically, my girlfriend that passed away, we had polar opposites on our political beliefs. You know, did we sit there and try to convince each other that they should go a certain way? Of course, everybody does that. But to sit there and make her wrong to where maybe she couldn't spend any money, it's insanity, guys. And then it leads to communism. Now, let's look at this, guys. Communism didn't work, okay? Just didn't. Took generations for it to realize that it wouldn't work. So this whole experiment that we are going to live through is not going to work. It's going to eventually crash and burn, but at what cost? Cost your business, cost your home, cost your family, cost of everything. You know, it's going to happen. Greg Manarino is a brilliant guy. Sat in his home, talked with him. I could hang out with that guy 24/7. That guy has said one thing that rings true to all of us that we should look at. The central banks are groups of people none of us voted for. None of you sat there and said, oh, I love Jerome Powell. He's my guy. No, he was appointed by the kings and queens and different people that are above us. And this guy's making decisions on all of us. And everybody holds their breath when he speaks. If we stopped the central banks from printing $1 as a group, if we stood up and said, no, I'm not going to take this, it would end. That would be the end of the central banks. And Greg Manarino is 1,000% right about that. So you can sit there and you can say, oh, Dan, your examples are kind of extreme. No, let me give you something about freedom, okay? You want to go out and you want to have a little anonymity. Let's say you want to date 3 women at the same time. And you want to buy this one a dress, this one roses, this one, you know, a trip, okay? Well, you should have the freedom to be able to do that, okay? And not have it be questioned by anybody, because it's going to be questioned, guys. If you don't think that this is going to happen, you are kidding yourself. I've had 2 examples in the last year sent to me from people that use freedom of spending their own money. That was insane. One guy was into sand rails. You know, the dune buggies that are really high end, that have the great suspension systems. They're very fast. They got the bucket seats and you rip through the deserts. This guy said, listen, because I worked through the pandemic, I got a bonus based on my sales for $25,000. 25 grand. I lied to my wife and told her I didn't get it, which again, great marriage this guy's got. But the guy took the 25 grand and bought auto parts. Hey, I just wanted to stock up because, you know, we break springs and, you know, all these different gaskets and things that we go through all the time. I got to stock up on it. Horrible. But imagine that being able to be tracked. Now you can sit there and say, you know, he had, you know, this guy would have gotten caught if he would have used his debit card. Probably. But the idea with it is that somebody else saying, well, you bought a lot of auto parts. What's that? Imagine if they don't like the industry that you're in. If you're into security, if you're into helping people train for security, you know, fitness, whatever. You guys, that is coming, okay? That's absolutely coming. So, the other one was a woman that wrote me and told me that she thinks her husband, she said, I'm going to use your word, Dan, an imbecile when it comes to money, and I want to hide some of it from him, which I think is a bad idea because people always get caught at the wrong time with this. And she hit about 18 grand, she told me, from this guy. And again, the stuff people tell me, the stuff you guys write me about, I'm telling you, crazy stuff, okay? Those are tame. But imagine that people get this track. That's what's going to happen. That's what the bad thing is. Now, in a world, and I got to show you guys this because it's really cool. The tide's really coming in. And for those of you that have been down to Newport Beach, the tide's coming in. I just wanted to walk between that section for you so you can see it. I'm out on my morning run. Okay? Again, Newport Pier to Balboa Pier is 2 miles. You go there and back, that's up to 4. It's very cool. But you have to look at this, guys, because this is going to be catastrophic. You do need cash out of the bank. In this world, they would basically give us a period of time to turn our cash in. Now, what if you're somebody that's got 80 grand? You saved $80,000 under your mattress. Are they going to give people a hard time? Where does 80 grand come from? I think so. I think that this is a no-win situation for us. But I also think that these people have not thought this through well enough, but the control and the social control is going to be the biggest problem right now. Because, what are you going to do? We don't like your sports teams. We don't like what you do for a living. Oh, you sell meat? Oh, you sell fish? No, you're harming those animals as you do this. Think about this. These people that have done that 30 years, their dads were fishermen, and they do this. I mean, we're talking old school, salt of the earth badasses. The men and women that do that, that's great. But imagine if you're not into that, you're not into fish, you shouldn't be able to do that. Okay? This is just really kind of a sight, kind of beautiful. So, February 24th, this is the date. The first date that they could shut down the banking system. Now, what do you do, Dan? This is not to panic anybody. This is to just say, hey, have things set aside so that you can buy things for the weekend. First Merchants Bank sent one of my subscribers a notice. Hey, guess what? We're doing maintenance on February 24th. Here's what you need to do. You need to write down all your transactions that you're conducting out of your account because things may change. Why is that? Why would you need, if you used your debit card, why would you need to write things down and keep track of it? Don't you guys keep track of it? Make sure you have enough cash to get through an extended period of time. What does that mean? Well, let's say you've got 5 kids and you need to eat during that weekend or a week. Okay? How do you feed your kids? You got to do that. So, I love the stories you guys send me about this stuff. I love all the warnings, okay? The FDIC meeting, that was the hidden meeting that everybody has the video on now. Things like that are not done to hide things from us. Things like that are done to plant the seed and drop the pin, if you know what I mean. Okay? They have practiced cyber attacks. They have practiced power outages with banks. They have practiced what's going to happen when there is a changeover. Why do you practice that? Okay? Why do you practice things in football, baseball? Why don't you just go play the game? No, because there's scenarios that happen in sports and in business and in life that make things serious and you need to deal with. Okay? Even for a game, you practice. Banking systems, practice, guys. I don't buy any of this stuff. I think it's all shenanigans. I think this is going to happen. And the idea with it is, where do you draw the line? Oh, look at how this thing's just rolling in right now, guys. That's cool. Eventually, where I'm at will be gone, okay? This whole area will be wiped out. It'll be leveled. But if there was a king tide, if there ever is a king tide, I'll come down here and film this for you because it's really cool. But all these different scenarios with the ocean, it's very cool. So share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. But again, prepare. Those of you that are on Social Security and fixed income, have 10% of your money out of that you get in a month, have it in a drawer. Have it in small bills, large bills, everything, so you can get through an extended period of time. Not to freak you out, just to make sure that if you had to go buy something, you'd have greenery right now. Now, eventually, they're going to shut the green off. They can't do it overnight. You can't say, hey, turn your cash in by Wednesday. It's not going to work, okay? They'd give us an extended period of time. But everybody getting these digital cards and everything like that, going to track it. Hey, listen, we don't want you to drive because of the climate beyond 100 miles. Okay? Ninja lives, 3.5 hours from here? We're going to drive there in a week and a half? No, you can't do that. you guys may be objecting me hanging out with the ninja anyway, so there's that. Do not forget to hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Email me at hello@iAllegedly.com. And be well, everybody, okay? But let me know what you guys think about this, because this is going to happen. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon, okay? Let me know, guys.